Listening test instructions. The listening test is about 50 minutes. There are 6 parts in listening test. You will have about 6 minutes to listen to each passage and answer the questions. The passage will be played once.
Hey, you look concerned. What's on your mind?
The final exam. I'm not fully prepared yet.
Well, don't worry too much. You still have 3 days.
Yeah, but 3 days will fly past in a wink.
Well, you still have time to cram things in your brain anyway.
Question 1. Why is the man looked worried?
You will hear a conversation in 3 sections. You will hear each section only once. After each section, you will hear 2 or 3 questions. You will hear the questions only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Hello, Dr. Smith. Thank you for taking the time to see us today. I'm a bit worried about my child's behavior lately. He's been having frequent outbursts and seems to struggle with following instructions at home and school.
Of course, I'm glad you reached out. It's not uncommon for children to experience behavioral challenges, especially during certain developmental stages. Can you tell me a bit more about what you've been observing?
Well, it's not just the outbursts. He also seems to have difficulty concentrating and sitting still for extended periods. His teacher mentioned concerns about his interactions with peers, too. I'm not sure if this is just a phase or if there's something more going on.
It's understandable to feel concerned. It sounds like there may be some underlying issues that we need to explore further. Have there been any recent changes or stressors in his life that could be contributing to these behaviors?
Not that I can think of, but I'll definitely keep an eye out for any changes. I just want to help him navigate whatever he's going through and support him in the best way possible.
That's commendable. Understanding the root causes of his behavior will be key in developing effective strategies to address them. Let's schedule a more in-depth assessment to gain a better understanding of his needs and how we can support him moving forward.
Have there been any notable changes in the child's life, as reported by the parent? In order to address the child's behavior, what course of action does the psychologist recommend? In order to address the child's behavior, what does the psychologist feel is crucial?
You will hear the second section of the conversation shortly.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. I appreciate your guidance. I've noticed that his outbursts often occur when he's asked to transition from one activity to another or when he's feeling overwhelmed with tasks.
That's valuable information. Transitioning can be challenging for many children, especially those who struggle with flexibility and impulse control. It's possible that he may benefit from learning coping strategies to manage these transitions more effectively.
That makes sense. Are there specific techniques or approaches you recommend?
Yes, we can explore various techniques, such as visual schedules, timers, or social stories to help him anticipate and navigate transitions more smoothly. Additionally, teaching him relaxation techniques like deep breathing or mindfulness exercises could help him regulate his emotions during stressful moments.
Those sound like practical strategies we can implement at home. I'll also share these insights with his teacher to ensure consistency across environments.
Collaboration between home and school is crucial for supporting his progress. It's also essential to provide him with positive reinforcement and praise when he successfully manages transitions or demonstrates appropriate behavior.
Absolutely. I'll make sure to celebrate his successes and provide encouragement along the way. Thank you for all your support, Dr. Smith.
Based on the conversation, what causes the child to become irrational? How is the parent going to assist their child's development? Which of the following is not mentioned as a relaxation technique for the child?
You will hear the third section of the conversation shortly.
It's been a few weeks since our last session, and I wanted to provide an update on how things have been going with my child.
Of course, I'm glad to hear from you. How has he been responding to the strategies we discussed?
Overall, we've seen some improvement in his ability to manage transitions and regulate his emotions. We've been using visual schedules and relaxation techniques regularly, and they seem to be helping.
That's great to hear. Consistency is key when implementing these strategies, so it's wonderful to see that they're making a positive impact. Have there been any new challenges or areas where he may still need support?
He's still struggling a bit with social interactions, particularly in larger group settings. We've been working on building his confidence and social skills through role-playing and structured playdates.
It's not uncommon for social skills to take time to develop, but it's fantastic that you're proactively addressing this challenge. Continue to provide opportunities for him to practice and reinforce positive social behaviors. Let's schedule a follow-up session to further assess his progress and adjust our strategies as needed.
That sounds like a plan. Thank you again for your ongoing support, Dr. Smith. We truly appreciate your expertise and guidance in helping our child thrive.
It's my pleasure. I'm here to support you every step of the way. Keep up the excellent work, and don't hesitate to reach out if you have any further questions or concerns.
How does the psychologist characterize the development of social skills? What aspect of strategy implementation is crucial for success, according to the psychologist?
You will hear a conversation followed by 5 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Hey Mike, did you catch the game last night?
Of course, John. I never miss a game. What did you think?
Man, my team really stepped it up. They played with such intensity, especially in the second half.
Yeah, your team was on fire. But I have to say, my team put up a good fight too. It was a close game until the very end.
Definitely. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. But you have to admit, that last-minute goal from my team was a game changer.
Oh, no doubt about it. It was a brilliant play. But let's not forget about that amazing save from our goalkeeper. That could have easily been the deciding moment.
True, your goalkeeper made some incredible saves. It really kept your team in the game. But I have to give credit to our forwards for their relentless pressure.
Absolutely. Your forwards were relentless. They kept pushing forward and creating opportunities. It was a tough match for both teams, but that's what makes it so exciting.
Exactly. These are the kind of games that remind us why we love sports so much. The passion, the intensity, it's unbeatable.
Couldn't agree more. And you know what? I think both our teams have a real shot at the championship this year.
I couldn't agree more, Mike. With the way they're playing lately, anything is possible. It's going to be an exciting season.
For sure. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. But one thing's for sure, win or lose, I'll always support my team till the end.
Same here, Mike. That's what being a true fan is all about. Supporting your team through thick and thin.
Absolutely, John. Well, here's to another great season of thrilling matches and unforgettable moments.
Cheers to that, Mike. Let the games begin.
According to John, what was remarkable about his team's performance? What does John consider a game changer? What does John think about the game that helps his team stay competitive? According to Mike, what defines being a true fan? What do both John and Mike agree on regarding the game?
You will hear a conversation followed by 6 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Hey Jason, it's been ages. How have you been?
Hey Rachel, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, it's been too long. How about you? How's everything going on your end?
Pretty good. Can't complain. Just trying to navigate this whole remote work situation. How about you? Are you still working from home?
Yeah, still doing the remote thing. It's been quite the adjustment, I must say. Initially, I struggled a bit with the lack of separation between work and home life.
Oh, tell me about it. It's like the lines are completely blurred now, right?
Exactly. And don't even get me started on the distractions. I've had to get creative with setting up a dedicated workspace to minimize those.
I totally get it. I had to convert a corner of my living room into an office space. It's not ideal, but it works.
Same here. It's amazing how much you can accomplish with just a desk and a decent chair, though.
True that, but you know what's been the toughest part for me? The lack of face-to-face interaction with colleagues.
Oh, I hear you loud and clear. Zoom calls can only do so much to replace those water cooler chats, right?
Exactly. I miss those spontaneous brainstorming sessions and just being able to bounce ideas off each other in person.
Yeah. And let's not forget about the social aspect. I never realized how much I'd miss those office birthday parties and after-work drinks until they were gone.
It's like we took those little moments for granted. But hey, on the bright side, at least we don't have to deal with the morning commute anymore, right?
Oh, absolutely. Not having to rush through traffic every morning has been a huge plus. It's definitely one of the perks of remote work.
Agreed. And you know what else? I've found that I'm actually more productive when I can tailor work environment to suit my needs.
That's interesting. I've noticed the same thing, actually. Being able to control my surroundings has definitely helped me focus better.
Well, despite the challenges, it sounds like we're both managing to make the most of this remote work situation.
Definitely. And who knows, maybe someday we'll look back on this time and appreciate the lessons it taught us about adaptability and resilience.
Here's hoping. Anyway, it was great catching up, Jason. Let's not wait so long until the next chat, okay?
Absolutely. Take care, Rachel. Talk to you soon.
What is Rachel's main concern about remote work? How has Jason adjusted to remote work? What does Rachel convert into an office space? What is Rachel's perspective on the morning commute? What do Jason and Rachel both appreciate about remote work? What does Jason miss the most about the office environment?
You will hear a news item once. It is about 1.5 minutes long. Then 5 questions will appear. Choose the best way to complete each statement from the drop-down menu.
In a concerning development, health experts worldwide are raising alarms about the emergence of drug-resistant superbugs. These resilient bacteria pose a significant threat to public health as they render conventional antibiotics ineffective, making infections difficult, if not impossible, to treat. According to a recent report released by the World Health Organization, WHO, the rise of drug-resistant superbugs represents a global health crisis. These superbugs, also known as antimicrobial-resistant bacteria, have evolved mechanisms to withstand the effects of antibiotics, thereby reducing the effectiveness of standard medical treatments. Dr. Sarah Jenkins, a leading microbiologist at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, warns, "We are witnessing a dangerous trend where common infections are becoming untreatable due to the proliferation of drug-resistant bacteria. This poses a grave threat to public health, as we may soon find ourselves unable to effectively combat even routine infections." The rise of drug-resistant superbugs is attributed to various factors, including overuse and misuse of antibiotics in human and animal healthcare, as well as inadequate infection control practices. Additionally, the widespread use of antibiotics in agriculture and food production contributes to the proliferation of resistant bacteria in the environment. Efforts to address this growing threat are underway, with health organizations advocating for the responsible use of antibiotics, improved surveillance of antimicrobial resistance, and the development of alternative treatments. However, experts emphasize the urgent need for coordinated action at local, national, and international levels to combat the spread of drug-resistant superbugs and safeguard public health. As Dr. Jenkins stresses, without concerted efforts to curb the rise of drug-resistant bacteria, we risk entering a post-antibiotic era where common infections could once again become life-threatening. It is imperative that we take decisive action to preserve the effectiveness of our antibiotic arsenal and protect the health of current and future generations.
You will listen to a 2 minutes video. Then 8 questions appear. Choose the best way to answer each question.
When you think board meeting, you probably imagine, a stuffy conference room full of suits.
But a local author has used a different kind of board as inspiration for a new book. Minneapolis native John Wessinger mixes his career in sales and marketing with his love of surfing and ride the wave, how to embrace change and create a powerful new relationship with risk. So glad to have John with us here on Mid-Morning. John, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
True confession, it's you with the cologne question.
It is.
And you do smell fabulous.
Smells good.
It's a fair question. All right, you are a surfer. So
Yes.
how did your surfing, while you're surfing, you're thinking about business? How did these ideas come together?
Yeah, it happened after I went surfing, and I had tried ocean surfing for the first time in Malibu, California.
Scary.
Yeah.
Which was really scary. Yeah, I had done some wake surfing and snowboarding, and I had done some board sports, so I thought that this was going to be like an easy thing for me to do.
Transition.
Yeah, and that was not the case. It was literally over within like the first 10 minutes of me paddling out into the water. The waves were huge. There was rocks, kelp beds. There was all these conditions that I didn't really anticipate. I didn't have the skills, and then, I had taken on this risk that I didn't really anticipate.
I mean, when you talk about risk, I mean, we can talk about it in the way of riding a wave, terrifying, and it's someone like me or maybe someone else. When you talk about it in the business sense, what do you encourage people to do?
Yeah, I think the one thing that I think is really important for organizations to do is to not kind of get locked into the status quo and kind of doing the same things that they do over and over. One of the biggest things that I heard doing a workshop prior to the book and then kind of writing the book was that people get frustrated, and they get frustrated kind of doing the same thing over and over, and it's really hard to kind of break out of the traditional things that organizations have done if you've done them for a long time, because your mindset is kind of set a certain way.
You want people to use change to kind of overcome challenges instead of, to use the surfing analogy, being wiped out by it, right?
Yeah. So you kind of have to approach risk in order to have success. And what surfers do is they have this mindset that's based on progression, where they're always trying to evolve their skills. So they think about things as kind of an evolution, versus business people, we tend to think about things as, I have these skills and this is what I know how to do and this is all I can do, and we kind of avoid trying new things because of the risks, or we're scared to change as people.
What is your background in?
It's in sales and marketing and in business. I was a soccer player for a long time, but I also did board sports, and so I kind of grew up doing board sports with my brother, and they've always been a part of kind of growing up and doing these things, and I'm still trying to do them at my advanced age. But yeah, so my background is in business, but the surfing thing is just something that I've kind of followed for a long time.
Well, there's a launch party for Ride the Wave tonight from 5 to 8. No real waves to really hop on over at Lake Calhoun, but you'll be at the Calhoun Beach Club in Minneapolis.
By the water.
You're by the water. You can go to wcco.com/links to register for that launch party. Really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Overcoming risk is hard, John. It's such a mental block for people. And hopefully this gives folks some tools to get it done. We appreciate having you here.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
You will hear a report once. It is about 3 minutes long. Then 6 questions will appear. Choose the best way to answer each question from the drop-down menu.
The debate surrounding the legalization of marijuana is complex, encompassing various social, economic, and health considerations. From my viewpoint, there are compelling arguments both for and against legalization, but ultimately, the benefits of legalization outweigh the drawbacks. One of the primary arguments in favor of legalization is the potential economic benefits. Legalizing marijuana can create a significant source of tax revenue for governments, while also reducing the burden on law enforcement and the criminal justice system. By regulating the production and sale of marijuana, governments can also ensure product quality and safety standards, mitigating the risks associated with black market products. Furthermore, legalization can lead to job creation and stimulate economic growth in related industries, such as agriculture, retail, and tourism. In regions where marijuana cultivation is already prevalent, legalization can provide a legal framework that promotes responsible cultivation practices and environmental sustainability. Another crucial aspect is the potential social benefits of legalization. Criminalizing marijuana disproportionately affects marginalized communities and perpetuates racial disparities in the criminal justice system. Legalization can help address these disparities by reducing arrests and convictions for non-violent marijuana offenses, thus promoting social equity and justice. Moreover, legalizing marijuana can provide patients with access to medical marijuana for managing chronic pain, alleviating symptoms of certain medical conditions, and improving overall quality of life. Medical marijuana has shown promising results in treating conditions such as epilepsy, multiple sclerosis, and chemotherapy-induced nausea. However, it's essential to acknowledge the potential risks associated with marijuana use, particularly concerning mental health and impaired driving. Effective regulation, public education campaigns, and investment in addiction treatment programs are crucial components of a comprehensive approach to address these concerns.